Okay, fantastic. So first of all, a big thank you and a welcome to all of you for joining us this evening and giving up your Tuesday evening. My name is Debbie Cave. I live in London and I got involved in this company just before Christmas, so I haven't been involved that long. But suffice to say, just to touch on obviously the world we're living in at the moment, a lot of people are at home. From our perspective, it's been a great time to build our business, and we are running these calls pretty well every day, such as the demand for online businesses at the moment. But, you know, we have to be mindful that it is, you know, cited that basically unemployment potentially could reach up to 25 million globally after this pandemic. And, you know, the global economy is going to be massively affected. We all know people that have been hit by it. But, you know, in these strange times, there are two industries that are massively still winning. One is online businesses. And you may be aware, I don't know, Amazon in itself has already added $22 billion to its coffers just because of the demand of online products throughout the course of this pandemic. And the other industry that is absolutely thriving is that of network marketing. And for those that don't know much about it, it is a huge industry, $200 billion industry. It is bigger than both the music and the film industry put together. And in times of economic downturn, and we have suffered a few over the last few decades, it always thrives. We work from home. We are our own boss. We've got no overheads or employees. And as long as we have a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, there really are no obstacles to us building our global business. So guys, you are in a hot seat. It is win-win. We are a network marketing industry disruptor with 100% online technology. And in that little moment, I think I shall just share my screen. Share. Where is my share button? And introduce you to the exciting phenomena that is Ibuumerang. Andy, can you just tell me, I've lost the pictures of people. Can you hear me all right? And you've got the full screen. Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me, thank you. Sorry, I don't know. The pictures of everyone have disappeared, which actually is great because then I don't get so distracted. So thank you. Let me introduce you to Ibuumerang. Now, this company is only 14 months old. We are not well yet known, and actually, if we were well known, the opportunity to do well from it from a new business entrepreneurial perspective would have passed. We are still in beta test with this business, and as such, we are the pioneers, and we are in absolutely the ground level, which is why we are so excited with what is going on here. In only the 13, 14 months we've been going, we have built over $40 million in sales. And actually, we are actually breaking a huge amount of records out there. Bill Gates cited many years ago that online would be the place that would build more millionaires than any other source. And year on year, that has very much been proven to be the case. We were cited in the press only 2 weeks ago as the top company recommended to work with within our industry because we have such a sound online offering. And actually, that aside, in the April edition of Business from Homes, we were the top company, the fastest growing company out of 500 other network marketing companies. So guys, you are absolutely in the hot seat here, and I'm very excited to tell you all about it. Now, we always kick off with a disclaimer. You know, we want to make it very clear that you get out of this business what you put into it. It is not a get rich quick, but it is certainly not a get rich slow. And we cite it to being, you know, if you resemble it to a gym, you all have the same equipment as you walk through that front door. But if you sit and chatter on the phone, you're not going to get very much out of it. You're not going to build those muscles. And it's the same with this business. You get out of it what you put into it. But it's time for network marketing to evolve. And just to touch a little bit on what network marketing is, for those that don't know, it's essentially referral marketing. And we actually all do it very naturally without realizing. You know, we're all very happy to support our friends who perhaps open restaurants, hairdressing salons, whatever it might be. We are always the first to tell our friends to go and check it out. But we don't get paid for it. But if we have a good experience, you know, we're very happy to send people their way. So network marketing, essentially, you get paid for your referrals. But I have to say, when I was first approached, and just actually to give a little bit of background on myself, I skipped that bit. I should have said at the beginning, I came very much from a corporate background. I worked within the sales and marketing arena for 30 years, worked for big ad agencies, for publishing houses. I was head of marketing at Chelsea Football Club, and lastly worked for a branding agency where I sadly got made redundant. But you know, in these environments, we're working round the clock to line the pockets of somebody else. And I just decided that after I got made redundant, I did not want to be caught up in that perpetual, you know, 9 to 5 or 8 to 8 scenario where actually I had no time freedom. You had to jump through hoops to get time off work to be with your family. And this for me, I have to say, when I was approached about Ibuumerang, I saw the business model and was very, very excited by what they had to offer. But network marketing is an industry that simply has not evolved for very, very many years. And I had a dabble in network marketing just after I got made redundant with a product-based company. And much as I love the products, and I'm very thankful for my time there, because otherwise I wouldn't be here, it was a very, very frustrating sort of perpetual cycle of bringing in people into products, having to spend time selling, as you do in a traditional business, upselling, marketing, telling them when new products came out. And as soon as you got some traction with some, then others would fall out and you were constantly having to replace them. So network marketing really did need to evolve. And this is what our CEO, who I'll talk about in a minute, has achieved with this business. And what he had done essentially is watch companies that offered a first-class consumer experience, the online businesses that were winning, the Ubers, the Airbnbs, the Amazons, that at a touch of a button had completely disrupted their industries. You know, Amazon have put out of business so many high street stores, and we know that because of the death of the high streets here. You know, we literally at the press of a button can have a taxi arriving at our door. We can watch television at the press of a button on our time schedule. So what this particular business has done is what other network marketing companies haven't done, and has offered our customers, and actually also the ambassadors. I am an ambassador. I've got involved in this company and I'm wanting to monetize my referrals. And the experience is absolutely off the chart, and I will explain why as we go through the presentation. But essentially, we've taken network marketing from the taxi cab era. You know, nobody hails cabs anymore. It literally does happen at the touch of a button, where customers paid more. And the Amazon analogy is a very good one in that respect. And even with other network marketing companies, you know, the competition doesn't come from other network marketing companies within the product sector. It's Amazon, it's online companies who are undercutting these businesses. And actually, you know, it's the press of a button with a delivery the next day. Why would you go and jump through hoops where you're paying a lot more and have to wait a lot more for delivery? So we're taking network marketing from the taxi cab era into the modern day era, where we are actually making money within this business model when customers save money. And I'm going to just dwell on that statement, because it was that statement that really got my ears pricked up when I was first approached. Most businesses, you make money when customers spend money. So let me explain how we have the technology to enable us to actually make money when customers save. So this genius concept was born by our CEO and chairman, a chap by the name of Halton Buggs. Now, I had never heard of him. I hadn't been in network marketing that long, but he is an absolute legend in our industry. He started out 30 years ago earning less than $500 a month for his first 7 years. So that shows the level of tenacity that this man has put into the industry. And he's made mistakes, you know, he's had his ups and downs, but he has put all the good bits of what he has learned to help us succeed. And he went on to not only develop a formula to achieve rapid success for himself. This is a man who is in the record books for earning 3.1 million in 1 month. And he regularly earned $1 million a month. He has amassed a fortune of 100 million over the past 10 years. And as I was about to go on to say, has supported over 45 people and helped them earn over $1 million as well. In 1 year, we have 2 millionaires within the Ibuumerang business, and one of them is our personal mentor. So anyone on this call tonight who joins this business has the ear of these incredible, incredible leaders. So he put all his money and his experience to good use and founded Ibuumerang in March of last year. Now, he hasn't done this by himself. He has an incredible leadership team behind him. These three gentlemen here, T. Gray, Edwin Haynes, and Peter Hirsch, all worked with him within the network marketing industry and are absolute, top of their game within the industry. Mark Cathcart, I'm going to mention because I had come across him in my advertising days. He used to work for a WPP company, and he is our VP of marketing. And I have to say the tools that are on offer to us as ambassadors within this business are second to none. It makes it very duplicatable, which basically means they help us succeed and we help you succeed. We have incredible processes and systems in place. Now, these two people are very important to mention because it's Halton's association with a company by the name of Extreme Travel, David Manning and Laurie Spears, who work for them. Halton bought over a big percentage of their company. And it is our association with Extreme Travel that has helped us grow this business in 1 year to the level that we are at. Now, I can hear you saying, no one's traveling. How does this possibly work? Well, I'll tell you how it works. The travel sector, although it is completely dead on its feet at the moment, I listened to a podcast of David Manning's only the other week. We know that travel is going to bounce back, but this has been the vehicle to help us grow our company. So actually, even though travel is grounded at the moment, we're still growing our business. We know damn well that people are going to be traveling again. And business in the travel sector is already up 30% on December of this year, onwards into next year. And in fact, it was only today, Rafaela, I don't know if she's on this call, she works in the hotel industry, and they're saying that although the trends of the demographics of people who travel, they reckon are going to change slightly. As soon as those flights are flying again, it is not going to hinder us in any shape or form. So, although travel has been important in building our database, and we'll explain how that works, how have we brought this vision to the world? How has Halton brought this vision to the world? It all starts with the Prib. Now, the Prib is our Siri. It's what Siri is to Apple. It's what Google, Hey Google is to Google. It's what Alexa is to Amazon. It's our perpetual residual income builder. And it is the technology that does all of this work for us. Now, the perpetual residual income builder, it does what it says on the tin. Perpetual, it's 24/7. It's working for us all the time. Residual income, we call it our Beyonce money. This is income that we earn from work we have done just the once. So we call it our Beyonce money. She writes a record, J.K. Rowling writes a book, Tarantino writes a movie. They do the job once. Every time that movie is aired, the book is bought, or the song is played, they get royalties. And this is what happens in our industry. This is what builds our income, literally in our sleep. And it does it through this artificial intelligence. So I cited again the Amazon, the Apple, the Siri analogy. In the same way that when you're shopping for something on Google, you pop onto Facebook and up come all the ads. You're just looking, I don't know, for a car or for a phone or kitchen appliances, whatever it might be. And you pop onto Facebook and all those ads pop up. You're talking about something and you go onto Google or Facebook and the ads pop up. The phones and the technology around us have the artificial intelligence to do this upselling. You never find that you're pestered by Amazon with products that you don't remotely, you're not remotely interested in. They know what you are going to be potentially looking at buying. You buy something and it says, look, you've bought this. Are you interested in this, this, and this? This is artificial intelligence at its best. And the data analytics that do all the upselling for us is basically what the Prib does. It's worth touching on the Amazon story. I don't know how many of you, pop in the chat if any of you know how Amazon built their database in the early days of Jeff Bezos setting up his little business in his garage next to his house. Now, he didn't have the 30 years experience Halton Buggs had, but he actually built his business. I can't see the chat, but I'm guessing quite a few of you put books in there. Books is what he set up to basically find out from his customers' buying patterns what their interests were. And by knowing what their interests were, what books they bought, what their hobbies were, where they went on holiday, if they were family people, from there he added on the other products, and Amazon was born. So in the same way that Amazon used books, that is how we are using travel. So how can the Prib support us on a practical level? It is doing all this selling for us in exactly the same way I've just explained. It does the follow-ups and the upselling. When new products come on board, you don't even need to worry about telling your customers. The Prib does it for us. And as we build our business, and building our business in network marketing involves bringing people into your business, like-minded people, and that grows your team because they bring in people. But in the old network marketing days where you had to spend so much time coaching and training and it was absolute Groundhog Day, the Prib does it all for you. And we have incredible tools, which I touched on: welcome orientation videos, training videos, it does your upgrades, it tells you about events, and essentially helps you to retain your customers. And that is what you want to do. So it's doing all the work that we've struggled to do for ourselves in direct sales. So in the way that the Prib is the front door to the Ibuumerang model, travel, as I've mentioned, is the front door in growing our business, in growing the Prib. And the travel is basically available to our customers through something called the iGo booking engine. And the iGo is going to be an app. It's online at the moment, but the iGo is the booking engine for Extreme Travel, the company that I mentioned earlier. So the way that we essentially bring in our customers, it is so easy, and we will talk about this, but you send them a code to join our VIP travel club, and it gives them access for free, customers for free, which is unheard of in our industry. And from there, they can go onto our iGo booking platform and they can book away trips to their heart's content. In the 1 year that we've been going, and these slides were brought out in March, we have got over 500,000 customers. I believe we're up to nearly 600,000, or just over now that we're on nearly 14 months old. Can I say that is more than Amazon and Facebook collectively had within their first 2 years of business? So this is a company that has not yet taken off. And when is the best time to get involved in a new business, in an entrepreneurial opportunity? When that company is on the ground. So absolutely, this is the time, and that is why we are so very, very excited. At this juncture, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand over to my co-host, Andy, who is going to explain why Halton has used travel as the industry to launch Ibuumerang. Over to you, Andy. I'm going to mute myself.
Great, thanks, Debbie. Right, I'm going to set up my screen share. You should all be able to see my screen, Debbie. Brilliant. Okay, let's just go to full screen. So view, oh, hang on, let's just see, there we go. Let's try again. There we go. So, oops, there we go. Right, we're all set. So again, a huge warm welcome to all of you on the call tonight. 29, 28, it's great that so many people have turned out to see this presentation. My name's Andy Clarke. I'm the wrong side of 50. A little bit of an introduction to you guys about myself. I've had conventional businesses in the past, and my most successful one I sold with 35 staff, and sold that in 2008. And I'm a great believer in revenue streams, and I'm a great believer in home-based businesses without the overhead. So literally today I have my laptop, my phone, and everything else is taken care of. And we work with a great team. And what I see with this business is like what I saw in Amazon moving forwards. You know, when Amazon was small and they started some 15 or 20 years ago, today, you know, they put on their books 22 billion, I think, since lockdown. And what I see here is, and what I'm going to explain to you, and there's quite a bit to take in, is how this business could be the future for you as one of your revenue streams to help your family and to deliver this residual income system like my colleague Debbie talked about, the Beyoncés and the J.K. Rowling with the books and the records. So we're going to talk about travel. I had no idea about travel when I first started, and travel has been chosen so we can understand people's buying patterns. We know if people go to Florida, they're probably going to be going to Disney. If they want to go to New York, there's shows, shopping and restaurants. And if they want to go on a beach holiday, then, you know, then they're different buying patterns. But look, 8 trillion in travel, and literally people are booking now for next year already. The numbers are significantly up because people are missing out now. And people, you know, there are people with all sorts of challenges today, but there's a lot of people being paid their 80% on the furlough where they haven't been able to spend or go out. So, you know, they're actually up in terms of cash terms. So 8 trillion on travel. Look at that, 4.8 billion a day in Europe alone. You know, flights, travel, holidays, restaurants will come back. So, you know, I believe in this for the future, whilst I appreciate it's not now. Now, what I didn't realize when you book on booking.com and other platforms, there's some 45 different travel platforms online that are actually controlled by 2 holding companies, and they continually control our buying patterns. So when we're looking at getting a better price and doing our manual comparisons, what I didn't realize was that just 2 companies controlled all of this. So they're keeping it within a very small parity. So we're still paying the price they want. And the other thing that I didn't know was that there's a behind the curtain prices from a membership only platforms. So we have access to membership only, and that's what I'm going to explain. So it's the same places, the same dates, and we pass the savings on to you, the ambassadors, and also our customers. So how does this all work? As a travel savings ambassador, these are some examples here where you can see we've got New York, Paris, and a car hire platform. So in New York, we've got a whopping saving of $161 a night. Not only do we get that, we get these thing called reward credits, which I relate those to as like Tesco club card points. We can store them up or collect them and use them on our travel in the future. So big savings to be had and reward credits as well. It's really, really cool platform. I know myself, I've used it, and I know other people have used it on the platform already. So as an ambassador, we get significant savings. Not only that, we've got a 5-star lifestyle at a 3-star price. And as you see over on the left, we've got some core services all around the travel limits. We've got hotels, rental cars. I'm a big fan of cruises, love going cruising. You know, great, takes you to great destinations. Now with flights, let's be realistic with flights. We can't actually save money on flights because it's so competitive, but we can still match the pricing or have comparable pricing and still get our reward credits. We have homes, which is an Airbnb style platform. Weeks, where you can actually bid for the week. So you've got a week free, but you don't know where in the world you want to go. You can scan our database and come up with the bestest deals for the best places. We have something called Marketplace, and this is very much like our eBay platforms where you can bid. And then we have a platform as well where you can share and upload your own timeshares if you're not particularly using it at that price. Now the Prib that Debbie spoke so well about, this artificial intelligence and technology is going to understand where we are and where our customers are. Of course, if we're going to Florida, it will give us deals on theme parks. You know, if we're going to New York or wherever, we can have restaurant savings. There's a whole lot of associated activities and rewards. And because we're so confident, we offer a price guarantee. Obviously, terms apply, and the price guarantee is for hotels, cars, and weekly stays at the moment. Clearly, we can't guarantee flights at the moment and that sort of thing. And look at the bottom right. I'm going to explain something called Vibe Ride as we go through the presentation. So if we look at the 2 platforms, we have an iGo platform for the ambassadors. That's if you're in the business. And we have an iGo platform for the customers. And remember, these customers were for free. When customers join for free, We also feed an undernourished child somewhere in the world through our Ibuumerang Foundation. So it's an encouragement and also a great thing for customers to do. So if we look at the ambassador platform on the left, we can see we're saving 41% of this hotel in Cancun, and a whopping saving on our trip of $424. So we as business people are very, very happy. And then we've got our customers that have joined our platform for free are also saving 20%. That's $212 on their holiday that they can use to go out for meals or anything else they choose. And this is how the earnings work. If we look on the right-hand side, we can see that as a travel savings bonus, the ambassador ourselves are paid 50% of the saving. That's $106 paid in cash through our back office. And another 35% is converted to commissionable volume. And there's some jargon here about development bonuses and leadership at uni levels. So we'll come on to those a little bit, but we can't go into too much depth. There's a lot to take in here. So, but as you can see at the first point, 50% paid to referring ambassador. What I like out of this business is everybody wins. The ambassador wins for the introduction, and finally we're paid for referring, and also the customers win for using our platform by saving on their trip. So let's have a look about how you can do this business. You can do this business by acquiring customers, and that's all you need to do. Give out your free codes to customers, and on a very conservative level, if 10 of your customers use the platform in a year, the estimations that their combined annual trips, they'll save $600, which is a total annual savings of $6,000. We all tend to work in dollars here, but it doesn't take too much to work this out. It's a travel savings bonus to you of $3,000. Now, what I often relate that back to is how much overtime would you have to do? You know, if you are trading your time for money and you are paid on an hourly basis, yes, quite a significant amount of effort. Whereas here we've got a minimal amount of effort to share the codes, what we call boomerangs, with these customers, our friends, colleagues, people we meet, wherever that is, and online, of course. So $3,000 is paid to you. But what most people don't realize is this is $3,000 every year. They're a customer for life. So you give out the code once, and every time they save money, you're going to get paid. This is paid on people you don't know, people that you're paid on in the future. And we've got to look a bit beyond the now. You know, we're looking for visionaries on this call that can look past the now into the future. Now, the other way you can build this business is there might be like-minded individuals that you know, like you. And if you build a team, which we do encourage, you know, it's optional. If you build a team, this is on a conservative model of 50 people in your team. This doesn't mean that you have to sponsor them yourself. It could be your sponsor's sponsor. So if you introduce a friend and they introduce 2 people and they introduce 2 people and so on and so forth. You can see here, if you have a team of 50, you might have just sponsored 5 and they've sponsored 5 and so on and so forth. It doesn't take long for the maths to get up to 50. And at a very conservative level, introduce 50 customers. Then what we're looking at here is different calculations apply. But if we use the annual savings of $600, we talk about volumes. But in terms of the payout to you, it's $58 a day, $1,700 a month, and $20,000 a year on your team's customers. So it's a great way to build up this business. You can go as fast or as slow as you like, because we're looking for, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 years and beyond. I mean, look at the way Amazon works now. Who'd have thought 22 billion since shutdown? We're talking huge numbers. If anybody had said that on day 1 or year 1, we would have said, you know, I don't believe you. Well, I really wish I'd invested more in Amazon shares back then. So what we're going to call onto now is, this is just, we are adding verticals. So travel is one element, rideshare is the next one. It's already launched in 8 cities in the USA, and it's one of the fastest growing segments in the rideshare industry. So we've got the Prib as our front door, sorry, the iGo with, as Debbie explained, 600,000 customers, I think it is now, 2 million targeted by December, all going into the Prib. The Prib is the artificial intelligence. The Prib is the computer engine that's going to do the selling for us. and the tech, so we know what people's buying patterns and behaviors and choices are like. Vibe is just one of our verticals. Vertical number 3 and 4, maybe Boom Mobile, maybe Shell fuel cards, all these things are talked about and they're going to come on board. Once you've got the customer once and they use these services, you're going to be paid on all the savings they have. But let's look at the one that's actually launched right now. Vibe, the rideshare. When I was in Florida, I took an Uber and I said to the cab driver, are you interested in additional income? And he said, yes. I said, this one is different. He said, why? And I said, because you actually can earn money when you're not driving. Because at the moment, Uber and Lyft drivers and any type of cab rideshare driver can only earn when they're driving. And look at the numbers. We've got 5.3 million drivers and growing, and 98 million rideshare passengers in a $1.2 trillion industry. These are just massive. We don't need to sponsor hundreds of people here. Just a couple could really make a significant difference. And these guys that I shared this with when I was in Florida, when we could travel in February, how is it different? I said, you can earn while you're sleeping by introducing other people. And when they ride, you're going to earn. And I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen on the call, but when I've used an Uber before, I look up the person, it says they've done thousands of rides already, and they've got a 4.9 rating and all the rest of it. So let's have a look at how you can earn using the rideshare. There's actually 3 ways we can introduce people to the service. We can earn when you drive yourself, if you want to drive using our rideshare. So you can earn when you drive, you can earn when you introduce people who drive, and you can earn from customers when they ride. So 3 ways, absolutely brilliant and unique. This has never been done before. We're at the forefront of this technology. So let's just have a look at a $100 fare breakdown, just for round numbers. You know, airport runs might be this, but you know, if the driver does the ride, then he'll earn $75, and that's more than Uber or Lyft drivers get at the moment. And if you're the driver referrer, you get $3 or 3% of each and every single ride they do. And I think that's really important, is every single ride they do forever. And then another 3% or $3 goes in the drive share pool, which is distributed earnings. If you introduce a rider, a customer, now I've introduced loads of people to Uber. I've told them how great I find the experience. It's a cashless, easy experience, but I've never been paid. Never been paid for it. Like I use, you know, I've introduced people to Airbnb and I get a one-off introductory commission. But with this system, you get $3 of every single ride they take. Oh, sorry, $3 in that example, or 3%, and then $3 goes into the earning pool. Now, each ride we take, we nourish a child, again, through our iBoom Foundation, every single ride. So the question is, ladies and gentlemen, do you boomerang? It's a bit like, do you Insta, do you Facebook, do you tweet? Yes, I boomerang is going to be the answer. It's so easy to give out these boomerang codes. You can give a code to a customer, a driver, or a rider, or you can scan on one of these QR codes. You give them your specific code, which we call as a boomerang, and then the customer is directed to a landing page. It's really that simple to get your customers on board. Then you can forget about them, and the Prib does the rest. So there's no follow-up, there's no selling. We're not asking people to buy anything. Actually, every boomerang that's activated, every customer that's activated, there's encouragement to do so because we nourish a child through the Boom Foundation. So this is how we can get started. And we've been given a couple of pay rises since the lockdown as incentives to help us out, where most people have been cutting back. We've been stepping up. So to buy this franchise, or buy in this franchise, we could, you know, we could buy in one of these classes, coach, business, or first class. And the way we get paid for sponsoring and helping people get on board for training, coaching, and assisting, you'll see here, we can get paid $90 for introducing our friends on first class, $45 for introducing on business, and $22 and so on. But if we help that person introduce their friends, then you can see we get paid at these levels, $18. And then if we help the whole team, we're getting paid all the way down through the levels up to 7 levels. This is unheard of in network marketing. You know, we'd get paid at level 1, which was how it was when I first started, and I thought that was fantastic. And then I got a pay rise and was told I was going to get more earnings from helping the team grow. So great incentives. So how does this work? What do you actually have to do? We work with 2 teams. So if I was changed my hairstyle and had a person on my right and person on my left, I build a team, a left team and a right team, and I help, you know, maybe Debbie on the right and Susie on the left create their teams. And so it builds. And all of these people, when you saw, you know, the 50 team members, they're not necessarily people I've introduced, they're people of my friends that have been introduced, or people that I've found from LinkedIn and other areas. So how you get started, everybody jumps on board with Standby to start with. And that gets you a position on that tree-like structure that I've explained. And then you can see the different classes and what you're going to get for these classes. So, for example, I was all in on first class because I really recognized that for $1,000, I was getting so much. Having had a business before with 35 staff and offices and insurance and all the other bits and pieces come with it, you know, that would be less than a week's overhead. So it was a really good, and I look at this as a franchise model. I get all of the savings on the business class, the homes, the weeks, the hotels, the coaches, the cruises. I get 50 boomerangs, which are codes I can give out to my customers, and I get 15% on what we call a dual team bonus. And all of that for $1,000. However, we do understand that that may not be, you know, people may be interested in the business, but may not have that at their fingertips right now. So we have got what we call a coach class where people can start at a lower entry point and then jump to the first class if they want to within 60 days and upgrade. Now, there is a monthly subscription of $99, which is about £79 at the moment. So it's £79 a month for me to run a global business that's available in 180 countries that I can operate at time to suit me, and I can put in as many hours or as few hours that I want. And the good thing at the moment is, ladies and gentlemen, for the month of May, to help people in time of austerity and lockdown that are really interested in going all in with this, the first class package is reduced to $799. That's $799 for a business that's scalable, replicatable, global, with literally an unlimited income if you're prepared to be coachable and put the work in. And again, disclaimer, this is like a gym. We do need to put the work in, and compliance and expectation is, you know, very key to all of us. So, do you boomerang, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want to get started right now? The thing I want to do is say thank you very much for joining this call again. Please get back to the person that invited you to the call and come back to them with a number 1, 2, or 3. 1 means I've seen enough, I'm all in, let's go. Number 2 is I'm really interested, but I've got some questions. Can we set up a call? Number 3 is it's great, but it's not for me. Can you send me one of those free customer codes so I can save money on my next travel? So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for giving up your time. Thank you, Debbie, my co-host, and thank you everybody else that supported this call. Please stay safe. Have a lovely evening. I don't know if we're going to open it up to questions. I'm going to stop my sharing now. We perhaps have got 1 or 2 testimonials from somebody on the call. Perhaps Beverly, you want to give us just a quick 1 minute of how you've found the business so far before we wrap it up?
Yeah, thanks so much, Andy. Yeah, sure, not a problem. You know, I've been in the business since December as well. Yeah, it's a really, really unique model compared to, I've been in a similar network marketing business, but being in services based versus product based, there are so many advantages in terms of the amount of time you have to spend on it. And you know what Holton has done is got unique systems and processes there that we just follow. So it's a very simple, and I've got people in the team doing this, you know, 1 or 2 hours a day, or people doing it 7 or 8, you know, 7 hours a day. You can put the amount of time in it and work in it, and you know the reward comes back to you. I've actually just had somebody today who's taken advantage of the May bonuses. They joined last week on first class at $7.99, Andy. They enrolled to introduce 2 people today, and boom, they've got 70% of their investment back. So in May, that is absolutely more than possible. So if you're thinking about this, talk to the person that invited you to the call, and just get back to them and they can show you how to do that.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. And it also demonstrates that people can get their investment back very, very quickly with just 2 people. Now we've also got Rob on the call. Do you want to give us, Rob, 30 seconds to a minute just to say how you've found the business so far?
Yeah, to be honest, I got involved with this with just a phone call with one of our leaders actually in the UK, which is awesome. And then obviously speaking to Debbie, and absolutely love it. Just to say something a little bit different on here, which you haven't maybe heard yet, but I've actually used the platform 11 times and saved £1,268 so far. 2 flights have been I've taken on the platform, but the savings themselves have mainly been on the hotels, which have been absolutely incredible. I was lucky enough to go around Thailand and Vietnam for about 7.5 weeks, and then to the States as well. So, and also used it in this country. So my belief in this and where it's going, just the vision with pretty much everyone with a smartphone is going to have this app on their phone, and you could be 1 or 2 users, either a free customer or someone who's actually making money and having bigger savings. So yeah, just really, really excited where this is going in the future and what it's all about. So that's me.
Brilliant.
Rob, before you disappear, I've just had a couple of questions posed to me in the chat, so I will just touch on them, and they've come from Brenda. Her first question was with regard to the charitable causes and how does it work with the feeding undernourished children. Brenda, what happens is the chap Peter Hirsch, who I introduced to in our board of directors, he's responsible for our charitable donations, and we have associations with 2 charities. One is called Children International and the other is Mana Relief. And literally every new customer that comes on board, whether it be a customer into the iGo platform or into Vibe Ride, they feed an undernourished child. And we know they're very transparent with all their stats. They have these incredible recognition calls that are hosted by the states every Saturday. And I know that up to date, I think we are about 4.5 million children being fed, and they get the stats through from these 2 charities. So that covers that one off. And the other one was how do we earn points? And that's why just before Rob disappeared, basically Rob's a great example. I mean, I've booked a few hotels through it. My daughter's booked hotels in New Zealand through it. Every time you book through the iGo platform, you get these travel reward credits. And I think, Rob, I don't know if you can unmute, with all your travels, you've used it more than anybody. You're already over 6,000 odd.
7,600 and something, yeah.
Brilliant.
So what that, I know it sounds a lot of points, that guys, but basically every 1,000 is £10. But when you've got such reduced prices anyway, just all these points mount up. So it just creates that stickiness. But while we're on this point and we've got time, but what I love about this, that customers get free points as well, and which is so cool, because what's actually going to happen here is we're going to share this, right? We give a code to a customer, free customer, whatever. They're actually going to share this platform in amongst themselves anyway. When Andy showed the slide saying, do we boomerang? This is just going to be talked around about us all the time in the future. And the way I look at it, so this platform is going to be shared. So the point being is these people will actually be incentivized to share as well. So when they share it with a friend, they'll have more reward points to create to spend on the actual site. But what that means to us as ambassadors, the person who actually gave that link and then it started getting shared, they're all our customers. That is massive, guys, right? So just be aware of that. That's going to happen also. So that's food for thought.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Rob. I don't think there are any more questions now. So as Andy says, I think the next step is get back to the person who invited you, set up a call to go through any questions. There's a huge amount to take in. We don't expect you to get it all in one fell swoop, but we have recorded this. So if anybody wants to see the recording, I'll be very happy to share it. So I bid you all a great evening. Thanks for jumping on and hope to see you very soon. Thanks,
Thank you very much, everyone. Well done, Debbie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.